All right. Good morning. It's 7:30. So we'll go ahead and get started. So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we're thinking about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning, but we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And we begin to let go of attending to the external world and getting to constrain our awareness just to the body and mind. Cultivating the view of allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. And we begin to concentrate the mind on the breath, the physical sensation of the air that accompanies the in breath and the out breath, and the opening around the nostrils. Give ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind. And then, without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and place the mind gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad and altruistic motivation for our time. So think deeply about your own weariness with suffering, your own deep wish to be free of that suffering, to experience contentment, to be genuinely happy. And recognize that you share that ground with every other sentient being. So too do you and every other sentient being meet with difficulties, problems pouring down like rain. Recognizing this, generate the strong wish to help sentient beings be free, to follow an unmistaken path toward freedom. And think that my success on this path depends upon how deeply familiar I can become with virtue, with constructive states of mind, those that support actions that are beneficial for others, and how successful I am in separating myself from destructive states of mind, those that agitate and disturb my own peace of mind, and those that often, when they arise, motivate me to act in ways that cause harm to others. So, accomplishing these goals is the process of inner transformation that I'm engaged in. And that's the purpose of my time. And with that motivation, we will begin contemplating the four immeasurable thoughts, which probably will take at least two classes. We'll start that process by reflecting on the disadvantages of the mind self cherishing. Self cherishing is not to look after, to take care of oneself, but it is a preoccupation and an unhealthy preoccupation with one's own interests alone, following only one's own interests, one's own desires, even if it means ignoring or harming others in the process. So, this mind This tendency is what Lama Yeshe calls the inner enemy. Over beginningless past lives, I have been led astray, harmed by the mind of self-cherishing. The genuine happiness of liberation, enlightenment is blocked with the mind of self-cherishing. Even temporal forms of happiness are prevented, as I'm always afraid of losing them, always comparing them, wanting them to be more, to be better. And the self-cherishing mind is the greatest obstacle to actually achieving happiness. So contemplate all of the ways in which this mind, this preoccupation, is actually harmful. Try to be able to see it as the inner enemy. And then the contemplation on the first of the four immeasurable thoughts, immeasurable equanimity, Begin by reciting that verse. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from the discriminating thoughts of anger and attachment that hold some close and others distant. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do so. So I think of all of the suffering that sentient beings are experiencing under the control of anger and attachment. These minds that hold some sentient beings close and others distant. I think this is the root of suffering in our world. This mind that gives rise to greed, animosity, so much conflict, war. And then begin to imagine yourself in meditation, imagining a small dark seed at your heart, which is a representation of the mind of self cherishing. And think of the suffering caused by others, caused by these minds of attachment and anger. And imagine the suffering as a pollution surrounding them. And concentrate on your compassionate wish for them to be free of that suffering. And imagine that due to the force of that compassionate intention, that pollution begins to be drawn off. And it begins to funnel toward oneself. Begins to funnel toward the heart center, the dark seed, the mind of self-cherishing, the mind that does not want, cannot tolerate difficulty, problems, suffering of any kind. And think that you give this suffering to the mind of self-cherishing, feeling the discomfort that arises in the mind and maintaining your compassionate attitude. And try to give rise to a sense of great joy, thinking that sentient beings are able to experience that equanimity, that mind that is free from discrimination, of labeling, and that suffering is gone forever in the minds and experiences of all sentient beings. Rest your mind in a sense of rejoicing. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which in turn has generated positive energy in the mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings, without exception. Thinking strongly, when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.